Shelter building is the process of constructing temporary structures or shelters to provide protection and shelter from the elements in outdoor environments. Shelter building is a fundamental survival skill that can be crucial in emergency situations, outdoor adventures, camping trips, or wilderness survival scenarios. Here's how to construct temporary shelters in outdoor environments. Assess the environment. Start by assessing the outdoor environment and selecting a suitable location for your shelter. Look for a flat, dry area with good drainage and natural protection from wind, rain, and other elements. Avoid low-lying areas prone to flooding, areas with overhead hazards such as dead branches or rocks, and areas with potential wildlife risks. Choose shelter design. Select a shelter design that suits your needs, resources, and the environmental conditions. Common shelter designs include lean-tos, debris shelters, A-frame shelters, tarp shelters, and natural shelters such as caves or rock overhangs. Choose a design that provides adequate protection, insulation, and comfort based on the weather and your available materials. Gather materials. Gather natural materials and resources from the surrounding environment to use in constructing your shelter. Look for materials such as branches, sticks, logs, leaves, grass, moss, bark, and rocks that are readily available and suitable for building. Collect enough materials to construct a sturdy and weather-resistant shelter without depleting local resources excessively. Prepare the site. Clear the ground and remove any debris, rocks, or obstacles from the area where you plan to build your shelter. Create a level and flat surface for the shelter foundation, using rocks or logs to create a raised sleeping platform if necessary. Consider factors such as drainage, soil stability, and ground moisture when preparing the site. Build the shelter frame. Construct the frame or skeleton of the shelter using sturdy branches, logs, or poles. Arrange the structural elements in the desired shape and size of your shelter design, ensuring stability, support, and adequate space inside. Secure the frame together using natural cordage, such as vines, roots, or flexible branches, or use knots and lashings to tie the components together securely. Add insulation and weatherproofing. Add insulation and weatherproofing materials to the shelter to improve warmth and protection from the elements. Layer leaves, grass, moss, or pine needles on the shelter floor and walls to provide insulation and create a barrier against wind, rain, and cold temperatures. Use additional materials such as branches, foliage, or tarps to reinforce the shelter and enhance its weather resistance. Cover the shelter. Cover the shelter frame with additional layers of natural materials, such as branches, leaves, grass, or brush, to create a solid roof and walls. Overlap the materials and pack them tightly to prevent gaps and ensure effective weatherproofing. Use additional layers or a waterproof tarp if available to provide extra protection from rain, snow, or moisture. Secure and anchor the shelter. Secure the shelter structure firmly to the ground and anchor it against wind, storms, or other environmental hazards. Use stakes, rocks, or heavy objects to anchor the shelter corners and prevent it from shifting or collapsing in strong winds. Ensure that the shelter is stable, level, and securely anchored to the ground to provide a safe and comfortable refuge. Test the shelter. Test the shelter for stability, comfort, and weatherproofing by spending time inside and observing its performance in different weather conditions. Make any necessary adjustments or reinforcements to improve the shelter's functionality and effectiveness. Check for leaks, drafts, or structural weaknesses and address them promptly to maintain shelter integrity. Maintain and repair. Maintain your shelter regularly by checking for signs of wear, damage, or deterioration and performing necessary repairs or reinforcements as needed. Replace damaged or degraded materials, reinforce weak spots, and shore up the shelter structure to ensure long-term durability and reliability. Keep the shelter clean, dry, and well-maintained to prolong its lifespan and effectiveness. Disassemble and leave no trace. When you no longer need the shelter, disassemble it carefully and leave the site as you found it, or better. Practice leave no trace principles by removing any debris, trash, or leftover materials, and restoring the natural environment to its original condition. Scatter materials, fill in holes, and minimize your impact on the land to preserve wilderness areas for future visitors. By following these steps and techniques, you can construct temporary shelters in outdoor environments to provide protection, warmth, and comfort in emergency situations or outdoor adventures. Mastering shelter building skills can enhance your self-reliance, survival capabilities, and enjoyment of outdoor activities while fostering a deeper connection with nature.